Welcome to Popcorn Playback. Today we are going to recap an action crime thriller, He's Out There, that was released in 2018. Hope you will enjoy it. Before we get to the storyline, like and subscribe for more recaps. Have a great day. The movie starts when a little girl named Kayla is reading out loud a children's book called Darkness Hides. It looks like there was a terrible accident outside of a house by the lake. There is a tilted car, a tape recorder that is wrapped around in a rope, blood on the wooden floors, and another car with a bloody axe handle hanging from its boots. As the scene changes, Kayla tells the story about a little mouse that doesn't fear anything until one day, a crow comes along and scares him. The crow tells the mouse to run and hide because the darkness can hide in the light of day. Kayla stops telling the story, and the scene finally changes to show Kayla, her sister Maddie, and their parents. They are going for their yearly holiday trip, but Kayla's father Sean has to work and stay a few hours longer. Because he says he'll get his family as soon as possible, Mother leaves their house. Kayla's mother Laura stops in a quiet place after hours of driving. Their holiday home is way out in the woods. The mother comes outside and tries to open the gate, but the key keeps getting stuck. A man named Owen comes in a few seconds later and says he is the local security. He opens the gate with Laura's help. The guard talks to Laura in a way that makes it sound like they know each other. Then he tells them that a boy named John in their neighborhood is missing. John's family was so upset that they sold the house and never came back. Laura changes the topic and walks back to the car, but Owens notices that all of them are ladies. Laura lies and says her husband is right behind her while he is not. They then thank the security Owen for his help and leave. After that, Laura drives to their house, which has a beautiful view of the lake. She then plays while she watches their bags. Her husband calls her and tells her he is in the market and looking for gifts for Kayla and Maddie. Laura tells him to buy eggs because she forgot to bring them. Sean picks out a pet bear and a music box for his daughters after the call ends. Laura leaves her phone in the car and brings their things inside. She also brings Maddie's scary zombie doll. It has two black eyes. Laura then goes upstairs to put their stuff in order. She looks at her children through the windows and sees them swinging. She smiles when she sees them having fun and then gets back to planning. The girls stop bouncing and start to follow a red string that they find close to the house. The thread takes them to a tea party in the middle of the forest, which they think is a trap. When the girls come back to the house later, Laura sees Kayla hiding something in one of the drawers. Kayla then reveals that it's a gift she got for their father as a surprise. Laura reads the picture book to them before bed that night. Maddie says she needs to go to sleep, so Laura keeps reading the book to Kayla. As she turns the pages, she comes across a silly picture of her and some other girls on a swing. When Laura asks who drew it, Kayla says it was already there when they got it. Laura puts her girls to bed and leaves them to sleep when she ends reading. When Sean calls on the house phone, she goes back downstairs to smoke. Laura tells him that she left her phone in the car so that he couldn't get in touch with her. When Laura is coming back, she hears tree twigs breaking. She brushes it off because she thinks it's just a wild animal in the woods and goes inside. Late at night, Kayla wakes up Laura while she's sleeping and tells her that something is wrong with Maddie. Laura quickly gets up to check on Maddie in the playroom, where she suddenly vomits. When Maddie chokes on something, Laura takes her to the bathroom and cleans her up. When Laura takes whatever is in her mouth right away, she finds a ribbon with the word hello written on it. Laura figures out what's going on, so she quickly leaves the bathroom and checks out Kayla's gift for Sean. In the drawers, she finds a cupcake, which she rolls up in her hand. Another ribbon with the word goodbye written on it is found. Laura feels something wrong with that place. She tries to call 911, but the number is not working. Suddenly, they hear a loud bang coming from upstairs, followed by shaking that won't stop. Before going outside to get her phone, Laura takes a kitchen knife, but she can't find her phone anywhere. Instead, she sees a present in the back seat. When Laura takes it out of the box, she sees that it is Maddie's zombie doll. Laura runs back to the house right away and gets her girls in the car. But its wheels suddenly come off and their car is about to dash into a tree. They get out of the car and run toward the house. Laura asks Kayla to close all the blinds as soon as they get inside so that whoever is disturbing them can't see them. As Maddie's health gets worse, Laura takes some pills. Then they hear another loud bang as they hide behind the kitchen counter. There is still banging, so Laura slowly moves toward where the noise is coming from, with the girls following behind her. When she opens the blinds, there is a picture of their family outside. Except for Laura, everyone else's face is scratched up to look like a zombie doll. She takes the girls upstairs right away and tells them they need to leave for Maddie's health. But Kayla gets angry with her mother. Then, suddenly, Maddie looks out the window and says their father is there. When Laura checks it, she is confused to see a strange man in a mask standing under a tree. As he waves to Laura, the darkness hides his face. When Sean finally gets there, he finds that the gate is locked. He calls his Laura and hears a cell phone ring that is lying near. Sean keeps following the sound until someone answers the call. Sean first thinks it's his wife, but then he hears his own voice over and over. He follows the sound of his voice and finds Laura's phone glowing in the middle of the bush. Sean uses the flashlight on his phone to see what's going on around him and sees that the sculptures around the tea table are set up in the shape of a family. This is good for the man in the mask because it shows that father is confused, shocked, and crept out at the same time. He slowly comes out from behind father and strikes him with an axe. Mother and Kayla, on the other hand, tell Maddie to be brave, but they hear loud noises. They go downstairs to find out what's making the noise and pound on the door. They hear her father's voice calling them after a short time. But Laura is not sure what's going on. Still, she opens the door in the hopes of seeing Sean standing outside. Instead, she finds a speaker on the roof that is wrapped in a rope and hanging there. After a moment, Sean's body falls to the ground. Laura cries out in pain as she looks at her dead husband, whose eyes have been grooved out. Laura goes inside right away before the girls can leave to see their dead father. Laura tells her girls that the man outside is not their father. Laura now tries to calm her daughters down when, all of a sudden, the electricity goes out. When the girls leave the house, Laura grabs a flashlight and holds onto them. They look for a place to hide, but find that the drawing in the book has come to life. A giant doll hangs between the two smaller ones. Two tiny dolls are swinging on the swing. Then eggs start flying at them suddenly, so Laura quickly brings her girls inside. She locks the door right away and puts some stuff to block it. Then Kayla takes the kid's book and shows Laura that the man in the mask drew the pictures in it. The bigger doll then crashes through the window as if it were being thrown. They run upstairs right away and lock themselves in a room. Laura lies on the floor and nervously looks through the door gap to see if anyone's shadow is there. The girls go with their mother as she feels stressed and scared for their safety. Once again, Laura sees that her husband's car is closed as she asked him to buy eggs. Then Laura hides them in the closet while she gets the car keys outside. She goes back to the house with the girls after getting the keys back. Suddenly, they hear the downstairs door shut. It sounds like someone is breaking in, so Laura bravely yells at the invader to leave them alone. Immediately, they hear a car honk. So Laura looks out the window to see what it is. She sees Owen walking toward the house. So she taps on the window over and over until he sees her. Laura screams for help, but he can't hear her. Then she sees the man in the mask appear behind Owen. She breaks the window to call the police, but it's too late. The man in the mask swings his axe and hits Owen in the head. Seeing this horrible sconce, Laura gets scared and takes the girls downstairs. When the electricity comes back, Laura finds the zombie doll on top of the children's book on the kitchen table. When she takes the doll away and looks at the book, she finds that it has been changed with drawings that were made by hand. The pages are now filled with the masked man's strange, childlike drawings of how he plans to kill them. Even though the pictures make her feel scared and alone, she tries to open the door to leave. The man in the mask, on the other hand, breaks through the front window and grabs Laura. As the girls watch their mother be taken away, they scream and cry out of fear. Kayla tells herself to be strong for Maddie and then gets a kitchen knife. The man in the mask plays a kid's song to get the girls to come outside. He is able to do it while the girls are leaving because they think their father is playing music for them. When the girls get to their father's car, they find the gifts not wrapped and their mother in the trunk tied and gagged. The girls go right to help their mother, who tells them about the man in the mask who is behind them. The girls stay away from his strike. So the axe goes through Laura. The man in the mask drives a car after the girls as they scream and run away in fear. The girls enter the house and hide themselves under the bed when they go upstairs, but the man in the mask keeps following them. He sits on the bed and tells the girls why he did all that. He tells them his name is John. As a child, he lived in the house and has been following their family around every year when they come for the holidays. He wrote the girls' favorite children's book. The girls could find it and figure out the puzzle because he left it in the house. John then turns the bed over, puts chloroform on a piece of cloth, and puts it over the girls' mouths to catch them. It turns out that Sean's eyes and arms are now in the dummy the next day, but Laura is still alive and sleeping in the car. John goes back to his tea party and changes the dolls to make them look more natural. John really likes tea parties, but he cannot find anyone to come. Hink's dummies look like people by carving them. John spends his time with these dummies until he finds the right family to take their place. Kayla wakes up while John fixes a doll. But she acts like she's asleep so no one can hurt her. However, John notices her moves. He gets his axe out and gets ready to cut Kayla's arm off. But all of a sudden, he hears something. He leaves Kayla and follows the sound. The gifts are spread out all over the place. The beer and wine bottles are on the ground, and the music box is in the car. While he's thinking about something else, Laura comes up behind him and hits him. She quickly grabs the axe and swings it over and over, hitting John in different places. John's back is stabbed with the axe, and she goes so deep that he falls to the ground. Laura then gets back together with her girls and puts them in their father's car. When Kayla looks back, John is still lying on the ground with the axe on his back. The engine then stops, but Laura is able to start it again. When Kayla looks back, the ground is empty and John is nowhere to be found. She asks her mother where John has gone. But Laura doesn't care about it and keeps driving away. Like the darkness in the book, John will find the family no matter where they are. Here the movie ends. Okay, that's the entire recap for He's Out There. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.